I kind of feel like our band, it's like the goal is to try to make the show feel the same wherever it's at. So, but I think that that's more so like us trying to make it feel like it's a club show and you're in it and it's fun and we're bringing energy and it's not. Because sometimes you could watch a, it's like if you have that much removed and then you're outside and, it doesn't sound great on stage, like seeing someone at a festival can feel like a different experience. And so I think we try to make it feel like, you're seeing us at a club.
This is Rob Ruckus.
Hey, this is Kate Clover.
Hey guys, it's Nick Collins here from The Effect and Better Strangers.
Hi, my name is Madeline Rose.
Hey, it's Ben McKelvey.
It's Tim Howard here from Mike and the Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Amanda Lehman.
I'm Billy Harvey.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Casey Sampson from the band Twist Stop.
Hey, it's Tony from Fastball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Mitchell.
Hey guys, it's Matt here from the White Lakes.
You're listening to Almost Famous Magazine.
Come join us for this interview. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, rang the bell, shared our channel. We really appreciate it. We are thrilled to once again be covering punk rock bowling this year. Over the following weeks, we're going to hang with a lot of bands performing at the festival, so make sure to subscribe as we feature many of them that'll be appearing at Punk Rock Bowling. Also, don't forget to stop by Punk Rock Saves Lives booth at Punk Rock Bowling. Learn how they support the punk rock community across the country and how you could win exclusive one-of-a-kind signatures from some of the punk bands playing at Punk Rock Bowling. Today, I'm thrilled to be hanging with Zac, Brandon, and Max, or as you may know them, FIDLAR. And they recently released a deluxe version of their 2024 album, Surviving the Dream. And they're performing at Punk Rock Bowling on the main stage May 25th. Guys, welcome to The Hang.
What's up?
What's up?
Let me ask you this. I'm always curious, and I've talked about this on other episodes of The Hang with other artists. Like, it used to be your demo version back before everything was just recorded to a hard drive and you had track after track and it was on tape. And there were demo versions that had this life that they took until they became the final version. But like it used to be a demo version was so basic, it could be on an 8-track or something like that. How do you guys feel about releasing? I mean, I know you've done that on the deluxe version, but like that evolution and what it means to a fan experience to kind of understand where you guys started with the song and where it ended up in the final version.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all. I look at it as drafts, demos are drafts. Like if somebody wants it, then sure, here it is, it's not going to be as good, but they might like it more. I don't know.
We also kind of started by like releasing music in pretty demo form on YouTube and stuff. So like kind of a lot of our early years, I think we're sharing that side of the band also, where it's like those early ideas and stuff. And then later they would sound different on a record or whatever.
It's all demos, man.
Yeah.
The live show is the album, the real album. The live show, the concert is the album.
Yeah, I think we've always songs when we to what Zach's saying, songs we played live sound different than the ones on the record. The ones on the record sound different than the demo. And to me, they're all good and they can all exist. Like there doesn't need to be one version. And it's kind of cool if it feels different in different formats. Like why not have all of it? If we're stoked on all three of those things, then maybe someone else or our fans will be stoked on those other versions. And I don't know. I like seeing bands perform stuff live different than the record and demos sounding different than the live version or whatever. It's cool to see.
I totally agree. I mean, it's the creative process, right? And if you weren't evolving the music and you weren't changing it, you might get bored with it. The audience might get bored with it. And over time, it just doesn't have the same flair. Whereas taking it out on the road and giving it some other feel and sense, I think really adds to the experience for a fan. So I love the fact that, when you release a demo and then you can understand the final version, then you get to see a live version. I mean, from an artistic standpoint, I think it's super cool.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we're not too protective on that stuff.
Yeah. Some are, right? It's amazing nowadays. I mean, some of these large productions, it's exactly the same as it was on the record, every single type, of the tour, every single note. And that's kind of boring. That's kind of boring. But let me ask you this though. So you guys have been together a while now. It's been about what 16 years or so, and
God, has
growing
it really
from
been
those
16 years? Jesus, I haven't like thought that how many years it's been. Jesus, 16 is a lot.
It's crazy because we're only 24, so it's like it's a long time to. I guess when you start at 8 years old,
Yeah.
I'm 19 forever, so
Yeah.
I totally get it. I totally get it. And Max, you were mentioning kind of like back then that kind of a demo-ish, and that you've been releasing things like that, and just kind of getting to the music. How is the music and creating together evolved over that time? Like, how have you all evolved from the sense of the first album to now? You've had side projects, you've done a lot of touring. How has that evolved?
I mean, I think we're just, I don't know. I think it's ever evolving. It's just always kind of just whatever is happening at the moment. But I mean, I think a lot of the last record kind of felt like the first record in a lot of ways, where it was kind of like just us in a room kind of recording, and kind of Zac taking, the helm of like the production stuff, and it just kind of left to our own devices, figuring shit out. And that's kind of how the first record was also. So in a lot of ways, that was kind of similar, almost like the most similar recording wise to like the first early kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think it just depends on what we're working on and what the situation is. But yeah.
How has life impacted you though, as far as like everything from your musical sense to your lyrical sense to what you want to bring to the music?
You take it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's also like the
really
pandemic and stuff,
pandemic.
There's like things that happened that were like kind of, just everyone kind of went through crazy shifts and changes and stuff. But I mean, I think we were touring a lot and, doing stuff before the pandemic, and kind of stopped right at the beginning of the pandemic. So I think a lot of that era and this kind of newer music we've been working on was a lot like wanting to just be on the road and wanting to play live again and do all that stuff, because we had kind of spent 10 years doing that nonstop. And so it was very weird to have that taken away. So I think that has impacted some of it, where it's like some of the newer stuff is more of a live kind of feeling, like in the recordings as well too. So
yeah, I think that was
sorry, go for it.
Maybe one of the newer things that we like had in mind, as opposed to other records, or like the first three records, was like this need for it to go off live, and like wanting to know what it feels like, of like, oh, this is gonna, like, I think before, because we were playing so much, to like what Max was saying, like touring so much, that we were kind of like, at least on the third record, Almost Free, it was like we want to like mess around in the studio more than we were thinking of like how this goes off live. And I think for Surviving the Dream, being out of like touring and playing shows for that pandemic, like we were like, let's get some stuff that's gonna like ignite the mosh pit or whatever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, life can hit you in funny ways, and bring around changes you don't necessarily expect. I mean, I think the feel of the new album, you're absolutely right, is it's got that live feel, and a lot of albums these days tend to have a very I don't know, overly produced, homogenous feel. A lot of albums, so I think you guys definitely pull that off in the new album, and it has that feel that you would feel if you were in a room listening to it live at a show. I was looking over your YouTube channel, and as a former film school grad, I really love the way you guys do your videos. They've got it's obvious you're heavily involved in them, and they represent a relationship with your fans, I think. How did you guys decide on the creative direction for videos, especially in this content-driven world we live in, where a lot of musicians never thought they'd have to be filmmakers on top of being a musician? What is that like? Working
still
on
aren't.
videos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's always been a part of our band. Like our band started with like Zac cutting together like random clip, like YouTube rip videos, and that was how we would like release songs, was just putting up a video on YouTube, because there wasn't Spotify yet, or like shit like that. So that was all. There's always been that kind of like visual aspect to the band. Not like that it was really like deeply thought of, or like it was just kind of like a way to put out music. And then Zach's brother-in-law, Ryan Baxley, who's like a friend, did a lot of those like the more professional looking videos, and he was, there from the beginning, and we'd all work together, and it was just kind of like a necessity. Like, people want a visual side of it, and there's also not a lot of budget for that stuff because everyone can just make videos on their phones. We just kind of come up with an idea and just kind of do it ourselves and throw it up.
Yeah. Losing hard drives in the beginning. Yeah. So then I would just throw together something in iMovie and upload it to YouTube. And I'm like, well, YouTube's not going anywhere. So it's the biggest hard drive that's going to last the longest. So that's kind of when it started. And it's just, nowadays it's definitely, we're in the content driven world, but we just kind of do what we want to do in that respect.
I noticed you've got a couple of videos, and I'm curious. You've covered Jackson Browne's "Running on Empty," Carole King's "So Far Away." Like, how do you guys decide on like covers like that, and then to make videos of them? And what are some of the artists that have had that influence on you to say, hey, I love this tune, we're going to cover it?
I think just like a lot of them are done on tour, because it's just fun to do something other than the slog, But cover wise, just what we're into and what we're stoked on. Jackson Browne's "Running on Empty" specifically is just like the most tour song ever, and with the Carole King one, I was just playing around with some open tuning, and it just kind of happened. And doing it on the road is a lot, like, it gives me something to do to like put something out and then it's done. You know what I mean? Like the limitations are kind of everything. Just with like a laptop and a focus, like a small little interface.
Are there any songs you haven't covered that you want to? Are there any new ones coming up maybe during your next tour?
I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
I think
I have to think about that.
The cover thing has always kind of been a part of our band too, because it's just fun to play. I mean, there's a lot of great songs and they're fun to play. So like, I feel like even from the beginning, that was like always kind of a thing that we've done. We'll cover songs live, and Zach will do recordings of them. We'll make videos for him. It's like, why not? Like, there's no rules to like, we can make a cover,
So do you have a favorite? Do each of you have a favorite that you've done?
Cocaine.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually
the ultimate cover.
Become one of our songs now.
Yeah, the ultimate cover, Cocaine. Yeah,
that's a good one.
It really is. I mean, it's crazy. That's a straight up cover.
Now, you guys have toured extensively, and there's you have, every show can have its nuances and differences. Has there been any single show where the three of you walked off stage together and go, wait a minute, this was the most amazing show we played? Like, there was something to it. Maybe it was the audience, the location. Was there one show
never remember that shit. You never remember that shit. You remember playing the Flog and Molly cruise and nobody's fucking moshing, or you remember playing the direct support and you remember opening up for the Pixies and then they go, boo, get off the stage, like. So
yeah, it's there's so many good ones that you kind of only remember the bad ones, I guess. I do have
pops into my head is the Ziggit Festival in Budapest.
That was a good one.
Always pops into my head, where it's just like our first time in Hungary, and it just went so hard, and it was so much people and so big, and some guy was like lifted up in the pit and he just pulled down his pants. Like, it was just some crazy shit.
I have a theory though that I've been thinking about of like, whenever we play like New York or LA, like the big shows, everyone, where you got to put a bunch of people you don't know on the guest list and whatever. Like, I feel like it's always the show after that show that is like a good one. Like every time we play New York, it's like all stressy and like everyone's hanging out with different people, and you kind of like, at least for me, like can get kind of frazzled. You get out of the tour like lock-in moment, but then the next day we'll play like Philly or DC or something. And that show always feels like we're back tightened up and like, all right, all the bullshit's gone now. We can like do what we were doing before that other one. Not that New York and LA are bad shows; they're great. But
yeah, Jesus, Brandon.
I have this one that's like the one after the one is always a good one. I'm still developing.
I don't know. Sacramento's pretty bad, dude.
Yeah, it's true. But San Francisco was, it was like weird.
San Francisco wasn't that great either. It is like that whole saying is like you remember your like when you break your arm more than all the good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Well, then that leads me to think about, if you remember the bad experiences better or more than the good experiences, what's been like for the band the most bizarre Spinal Tap moment you guys have ever had together? Like, has there been one that just stands out to the point where you're like, this is so batshit crazy, I can't believe we're here?
I mean, the Flogging Molly cruise blew my mind. The Flogging that it wasn't a bad show. Like it's never bad, to be honest. Like, it's just when you look at the audience and stuff like that. I just never been on a cruise, and it just tripped me out that we were just in the middle of the ocean playing.
There was one. This was like very early on, but we were playing at this like Sunset Strip venue in LA that's not there anymore. And there was maybe just like our 4 friends there, and there was a lady in like a motorized wheelchair that was also there. And then once we started
forgot
playing,
about that.
She just rolled up to the front of the stage and like took a turn and went right out the door. It was like the one person that was there that we didn't know just like went up and made sure we saw her and then just dipped, and we're like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
The one paying customer just left.
Was that the Cats Club or something?
Yeah,
Cat Nap.
Club.
Or no, Cat Club. Yeah, Cat Club.
Club. It was also like a thing of like, why are we singing on the Sunset Strip?
Yeah,
like what?
Yeah.
Singing the song and just watching her like roll away.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, is it really that bad? Like we just got started.
Yes, it is really that bad.
Wow.
But there's those. But I feel like also when I don't know, like when you have those kind of moments where you're like, oh man, this might not be a great one, or like tickets didn't sell well, or we're playing with a weird band, you kind of switch gears and be like, all right, what are we gonna do to like kind of fuck this up a little bit and make it a good one, like make it memorable or something. Like it's kind of a challenge, which I kind of like, of like, how do we bum out or stoke out the 2 people that are here, which is kind of, I don't know, I like that sometimes.
Well, that definitely won't be happening in Las Vegas over Memorial Day weekend for sure. You guys have played punk rock bowling once before. What's it like to come back? Your main stage on was it Sunday night, and to be part of such a great event on the 25th anniversary?
Very stoked.
I didn't know it was the 25th anniversary. That's crazy.
Yeah, the last time we played, it was like awesome. Yeah, and that was a trippy experience, like playing on the Sunset Strip. It's like, this is very weird. Not kind of like our, typical place that we play. But yeah, the lineup is awesome, and yeah, they're always Stern Brothers are awesome, and love the festival.
What were some highlights of when you played last, and is there anything you're looking forward to for this year's festival? Have you had a chance to look at the lineup? Are there any bands you want to see? Any of the club shows? I mean, what are you guys looking forward to?
We were just talking to Keith Morris about Flag playing, so I'm excited to see Flag. That's what I'm pumped to see.
I'm curious about Peter Hook.
Yeah, Peter Hook is awesome too. Yeah,
kind of want to check. I've never seen. I think I saw. Well, I guess that was
New Order.
Yeah,
I think he was still in New Order when we saw him too. Yeah. But yeah, I've never seen him solo. So that'll be cool.
I'm curious about Shitfire. Who's Shitfire?
I mean,
We
there
got
are
some
some
homies too, like No Bros playing. And,
Oh yeah, No Bros playing.
Playboy Man Baby's playing.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
They might be playing a sideshow. The Damned is playing. Great.
Angel Dust.
Social Distortion. That'd be cool. That'd be great. This is sick.
Check out some
Interrupters. Get your ska on, dude. Aren't you friends with like the Interrupters guys, or like you went to school with some of them? Or
I went to
like
high school with the drummer and bass player. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious about Power Trip too.
Oh yeah,
the Power Trip.
The new singer.
One that I'm looking forward to is the Baboon Show. I just talked to them about a week and a half ago.
What is that?
They are, where are they from? Sweden. They're Swedish.
Sweden, okay.
And they have a female lead singer, and it's hyper political Swedish punk.
Okay.
They really put on a great performance, but they don't they take themselves. If you can be negatively serious about yourself, that's how far over they are when it comes to like their videos and their performances. And this is going to be their very first U.S. show ever at Punk Rock Bowling. So
very cool.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah, and I can't believe that Bob Mold's doing a show at the Container Park in Las Vegas. He's doing a club show just at Container Park.
Oh,
that's gonna be pretty cool too. Yeah.
Where do you find all the side shows? I want to check that out.
The club shows, yeah. The club shows are going to be amazing this year. Club shows are going to be amazing this year. What's it like, for a fan of the band, if they've seen you, let's say, at your own show, but then they see you at a festival? Like, what do you guys do anything to switch it up? I mean, you've got, obviously less time, but what do those festival shows mean to you in difference than when you're out on your own?
I kind of feel like our band, it's like the goal is to try to make the show feel the same wherever it's at. So, but I think that's more so like us trying to make it feel like it's a club show and you're in it and it's fun and we're bringing energy, and it's not. Because sometimes you could watch it, it's like if you have that much removed and you're outside and, it doesn't sound great on stage, like seeing someone at a festival can feel like a different experience. And so I think we try to make it feel like, you're seeing us at a club, or at least that's the goal, I think.
We just play faster. We got to fit more songs in the set list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Last year, Madness headlined the last night of the festival, and I think they played their entire catalog during the set, and it just kept going on and on for the hour that they had. Because I think every Madness song is less than 2 minutes. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. So you hit up Punk Rock Bowling Weekend, and then you guys hit the road again? What's going on with the remainder of 25 for you guys?
We have some Europe stuff and some UK stuff, like some fests and our own shows. So that's exciting. It's been a minute since we've been over there, and that was like, at least pre-pandemic, a place that we went a lot and did pretty well at. So I'm stoked to get back over there and like, I don't know, playing some weird places not weird places, but new places we haven't played before, like
some damp, cold dressing rooms, some fluorescent lighting, some stink toilets.
Yeah.
Some very small hotel rooms.
Yeah,
some goulash.
Yeah, some really weird food. I'm down.
Zach, I think you just made the brand new "Come to Europe" propaganda poster.
The stink toilet.
Well, they love Americans over there right now. So
yeah, we're crushing it.
Hey, do you guys plan to? It was a few years since your previous album. Do you guys have plans for any new albums once you guys finish up your kind of your summer touring, or is it going to be a while since we hear something new from the band again?
TBD.
TBD. Yeah.
I think we gotta do this shit that we have booked, and then we'll go from there. We're not big like planners. I don't know if you've figured that out yet, but we just kind of like we're very like in the moment of like, all right, well, let's do this now.
Well, I mean, as long as you don't do like a Peter Gabriel and wait like 13 years between albums, I think your fans will be much happier than.
Man, we wish we could do that. We wish we could
might.
afford that, dude.
So, well, hopefully you guys will have something new out sooner than later. One of the things we'd like to do is put out some really good energy here on the Hang, and one of the ways we do that, because we know that good things come when people have been watching the podcast, is dream collaborations. If each of you had the opportunity to get into a studio with one other musician for a day to be creative with, who might it be and why? Someone you haven't worked with before. Who would that be, Zach?
Do they have to be alive or dead, or both? Is it fine?
Well, Zach, I'll tell you, if they're alive, you have a better chance of them possibly learning about it through this podcast to work with them.
I'm gonna pick a dead guy.
Okay.
Prince.
Modern science, it could happen.
Psycho, and I heard some just crazy stories of recluse and shit like that, and like, I would love to see him fight like an engineer or something. Like, Prince would be my go-to.
Well, modern technology, maybe they can bring him back at some point. I don't know,
They could upload his consciousness somewhere, and
yeah, and that AI bot is just a dick.
Yeah, just even meaner than
meaner.
Prince.
Well, then if that's the case, he may already be living in a bunch of AI bots.
Another one that I would love to do, just because it's so like left of field, but like I think it would be sick, is Jack Johnson. Like in some of Jack Johnson lyrics, he talks about Fugazi. I know he's like a fan of like punk music. Like I want to like get Jack Johnson to like make a punk song,
That'd be a great collaboration. That's pretty cool. Max, how about you?
I don't know. Well, we recorded at Rick Rubin's studio, but we didn't record there with Rick Rubin. So maybe going back there with Rick Rubin would be cool. That would be pretty rad. But that studio is awesome. We did our last EP at Shangri-La studio, and it was very, very sick.
Cool. No, he'd be a great one to work with. Brandon, how about you?
Just because it's fresh in my mind, but I just watched that Pharrell like Lego movie, like his like biopic, and I feel like the Neptunes would be pretty sick if they made like a rock record. Almost more Pharrell, I like, but almost more Chad Hugo, his like partner in Neptunes. Seems like a pretty chill dude. I'd be curious what they could do with like a punk band, you know what I mean? Might be kind of sick.
Might be really bad though. I don't know.
It could also be really, really bad.
Well, that's something interesting. Sometimes artists get pigeonholed, right? You play punk music and people think that's all you do, right? But obviously with, someone like Jack Johnson is obviously not in punk. Who are some of the artists that influenced you guys that aren't in punk? Like that a fan would go, wait a minute, I had never knew that they loved Carole King, let's say. Like who are some of the artists that you guys have been really inspired by that may be out of the genre that would surprise people?
I got one that's kind of like super left of field. Is this guy Boys Noise? Like when I was a teenager, it's like kind of hard techno stuff. It sounds so aggressive. And I remember at a festival when we went on tour for the first time in Europe, I went to go to like the dance tent and I saw him play, and it was the loudest fucking thing and the most like sound wise, it's just like pumped me up. But that was definitely like going forward and working on music. I always like looked at that energy as like a very staple for us.
Max?
I don't know. I listen to a bunch of weird shit, so I have no idea. I mean, we listen to like a lot of like hip hop, rap, and weird sad music and stuff. Yeah, we all probably listen to more sad like Elliott Smith than we do punk. Probably that would probably shock some people. I don't know, Brandon, if you listen to sad music.
And Brandon, how about you?
Sometimes.
Listen to the Marvel soundtrack.
I try not to unlock that part of me, Max.
Brandon listens to the Wicked cast album.
Yeah.
Actually,
Iron Man.
Dude,
Iron Man OST original soundtrack.
I've been vibing on Defying Gravity pretty hard. That song from Wicked. So I'll say for myself, not for the rest of the band, but I fuck with some musical theater stuff pretty hard.
So you're the show tunes guy in the band.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get on the like drunk in the van Disney kick, and no one else is really on board with that. So.
Oh God, that song.
The
No more
Tarzan
Owl
soundtrack?
City.
That's not me. That's someone put that on me. But I'll fuck with the Phil Collins Tarzan soundtrack all day long.
Yeah.
You know what? I'd love to hear a recording of it. We've had Phil's son Nick on before, and we definitely could get that in his hands if you've got some recordings of that for sure. I'm sure his dad.
Maybe that's the next cover.
Yeah.
There you go, everybody. You heard it first. The next big cover is going to be a Phil Collins song.
But Phil Collins has to produce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe you guys can bring him out of retirement. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
there
the
you go.
kicker. Maybe that's the kicker, and we're putting it out there right now. We'd like to wrap these up because we believe in sharing music and first and foremost in purchasing music, right? We started our conversation today. There's a new deluxe version of your last album out. There's no way that you guys can afford to make it to Europe on Spotify royalties, unfortunately. Maybe that'll get you enough gas to get down the block. So we believe that you should buy records and your audio and your merch and tickets. We are big believers in that. There can be links below so everybody can get a hold of your stuff. But we also believe that, part of that is also sharing artists with everyone, that kind of like who you might share with a friend going, hey, I found somebody really cool, or I've been digging this lately. Because we got to share the love in the music world these days. So we kind of wrap it up with an artist you're listening to, why would you share that with someone else? What do you really love about it that you're digging? So Zach, why don't you take it?
I really like this band, Playboy Man Baby. They've been around for a minute and they haven't really had that moment yet, but I think it's about to happen with them, and they're just they're a really fun, smart kid, dudes that just make awesome, energetic music.
Max?
I'm going to say No Bro. They're actually, Playboy Man Baby and No Bro are both playing the festival. And No Bro, we took on tour 2019, and they are from Canada, Toronto area. Or Montreal. I think it's Montreal.
I think Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal. They rule. They're just super fun punk. Yeah, they're awesome. They should go check them out.
Last but not least, Brandon.
There's this band Lily that we took on tour that are they're actually making a music next door to where I'm at right now. So I've just been seeing them a lot, but yeah, they're cool dudes and trying to get it going. So I'd say them.
Excellent. Well, hey everybody, support these bands, support FIDLAR, go out, go to their shows, buy merch, buy the music. For what it's worth, great art doesn't come free, and it's harder than ever to really have the ability to produce and bring you guys great stuff. So please support your artists all the time, especially if you haven't made plans yet. You've got to see these guys take on punk rock bowling this year. The 25th anniversary is going to be sick. The lineup is amazing. And if you've not been to Vegas in a while, you can check out the Punk Rock Museum. Have you guys seen that yet? Have you guys been there?
I have not been there yet, but I'm going to try to go when I'm out for punk rock bowling. Yeah.
Oh, guys, you've got to make that stop. It is friggin' incredible. I mean, it is just it's incredible. So everybody, guys, thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys perform at Punk Rock. Everybody, we're going to have more of these punk rock festival punk rock bowling bands on in the next few weeks. Please make your plans. Come to Punk Rock Bowling. Support the bands. And if you do make it out to punk rock bowling, check out Punk Rock Saves Lives. They're doing just some incredible work to support the punk rock community all over the country. And we're going to have some really amazing opportunities. They can actually win some things from them out at Punk Rock Bowling. So guys, thanks so much for taking time to hang with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
See you in Vegas.